In this video, I'm going to go through the process of texturing this low poly barrel in Substance Painter. So here in Maya, you can see I have the low poly mesh. It's cleaned up and it's named. Also gave it a material, named it barrel. And I also have the high poly one as well, again with the suffix underscore high. And I've also added a red here as well for the ID map in case I want to do anything specific with the actual top here. I've already exported these out. I've imported them into Substance Painter, gone to the texture settings, bake mesh maps, added in my high, made sure that the suffix is correct by mesh name, and I baked them out. Oh, and also don't forget on the ID section, change it to material color. So I'm going to do like a nice little red barrel really quick. So I'm going to go to base color, go for a red there. I'm going to call this base. I might add some spots to the paint in the height map channel. So something like this. It is quite loud, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this way down so it's going to be ever so slightly pronounced. So you see it's just kind of there. Let's have a look what. So I think 2 is pretty decent. Does a pretty good job there. I'm going to add another fill layer, and I'm only going to be working in the roughness map here. So this is going to be roughness. I'm going to right mouse click there, add a black mask, add a generator, and I'm going to add a dirt to this. Just make sure that I'm not using the metal one there. I'm going to put the roughness somewhere in the middle, and we'll see how this looks. Let's go to the roughness map really quick, just have a look. Again, you can change the channels here as well. You can also change them by pressing C as well, as you can go through each one. I'm just going to go to my roughness here. Contrast, grunge scale, maybe something like that, grunge amount. Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. Might add another one as well, so I'm going to add a fill layer, and I'm going to go for another grunge sort of map. Yeah, that's a pretty decent one. Try planar. Let's have a look. Increasing the contrast a little bit, something like that. And I'm going to try to overlay it with the other one as well, to see what I can get. Yeah, that's not a pretty bad roughness map there. Let's see how it looks. So on the material, hold on shift, just going through it like that. Yeah, that's pretty nice. What I might want to do now is I'm going to add in some rust. So I'm going to import some materials. I'm going to import the ones from the Lantern tutorials. So I'm going to add in all these texture maps here. So they're all textures. And I'm going to give them a prefix as well, so when I search them I can just find them. So I'm going to call these all rust. I'm going to import into the current session. Well, import into the project. So where it says base color, I'm going to add in my rust. There's the color, the height map, the roughness, and that's pretty much it. I won't need the metal map at all, or the normal map, so I'll turn those off. Now I'm going to add a black mask, and what I'm going to do is going to add another fill option to this. So going to add maybe one of the other grunge maps. Something like this possibly. a pretty decent one. I might, just before I do that, increase this by about 4, just because then it looks a little bit better as well. So yeah, got some nice sort of leaking rust there. Go back to my fill options. Might have this like a larger. Actually, this might be worth going up to about 7. I think. Yep. So let's have a look. I think we should add another effect as well. I'm going to add another fill option and go for another grunge sort of map as well. I think something like this might be pretty good. Just for some smaller details, I think. Then I might want to multiply with the other one underneath. Max lighten, possibly. No, divide's not going to probably do it. Something like that's quite nice. I think it's a bit too high, so I might just get rid of some stuff slightly. I might add one more in there because I might want to add in a metal edgeware option. And again, I'm going to just Light Maxon's a pretty decent one, I think. And so just going to play around with the wear. Don't want it too high. I think that's okay. But I might just turn it down ever so slightly. Oops, I think I got rid of it. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. What I might do though is I might just get rid of the red one here. So I might just add in a colour selection. So just get rid of that. Because I might do that as a separate colour actually. I might do that as also like a black. So I'm going to call this Rust. I'm going to add another fill layer. Add a black mask. First things first is I'm going to select that. So that is going to be white. So I'm not going to have any height information, mainly just colour, if anything else. Go for a black one here. What I might do as well is I will add a white mask to this, to the base. Oops, don't think that's worked out as well as I hoped. Let's see, this might work actually. Ah, picked the wrong one. A white mask. And I'm just going to remove that height information from the top there. So, colour selection, the colour, that one there. That's not the one that I want to get rid of. I'm going to remove the mask. That's completely fine as it is. I think I might just get rid of that colour selection if anything else. Oops. I did keep it that way. Yeah, I think it was better just having it here actually as one separate thing, because it's done a pretty decent job. Something that I actually like. Call this top. Now what I'm going to do is I might just put like a little decal on there, so I'll just do a normal layer and call it decal. Let's go to my shelf, put this at the bottom here. So if I go to my alphas, I'll put a little logo on there. So I'll put his atom one, actually, be a pretty nice one. So we want to add a colour to it. I think we'll make it something that will make it stand out. Like a yellow will probably be quite good. Hold on, control, increase that. Let's see where we'll put this. Somewhere around here, possibly. See, it seeps in quite nicely as well. It's a bit clean, so what I might do is I might just add a white mask to it, and just add an effect. So possibly a fill. Maybe something like that, for instance. Just kind of seep it in slightly. Oops. But what I also might do is I might just go in, add a paint, and I might just get rid of some of the paint here, because obviously there wouldn't be any of the yellow paint on some of these areas here. So we'll get rid of that, and we'll make this black. So we'll get rid of some of these areas here, because there's no way that this logo would still be on that rust. Might use a different brush though. A dirt one might work quite well. Make it a bit smaller. Definitely want to get rid of it over there. Just put some slight little areas to it. It makes it look like it's a bit worn out. I think that is a pretty decent attempt at using Substance Painter. I think one last thing I may want to do is probably add in one last effect. I'll probably add in some sort of like a dirt colour. So maybe like some sort of darkish brown. I think probably what would be a better one would probably be one of the generators. I think the dirt generator again will probably be a better. Don't make it too dark, but I want to be able to see that it is definitely pronounced. Nope, I think that's fine. So as you can see, in not a lot of time, just made a nice, simple, basic texture set, which is quite nice. Some nice areas going on here. I probably would go in and just kind of get rid of some of that dirt areas there. So actually, I would probably add one more paint layer. Just get rid of some of that dirt because I think it's a bit too dirty around there. So you could go in and just remove some of the dirt there, just so it's not too uniform. Again, it's those nice subtle little details there that are quite useful. But I think I'll leave it for there now. So what I can do now with this is I can go to File, Export Texture, and here we can see that we have various different options here. So I'm going to put this as a 1024, and it is going to render out all these specific texture maps. So have a look. You got also the different options here. So you got metal roughness. All sorts of different ones here that I want to use, but we'll just go with the standard metal roughness. Going to export it out as a Targa if possible, and I'm probably going to save it out to I'll just put it here as like a test, essentially. Test export. Select folder and then export. So you can see here that we've exported out our texture maps, which we can then open up in Photoshop so we can edit, so we can have a look at these really quick. And so now we can see our roughness maps, and if we wanted to as well, we can have a look at our various other maps as well. So sometimes when you've finished with Substance Painter, you may want to actually go into Photoshop itself and just texture over or just alter the texture as you see fit. But you can see this has made a really nice high quality texture maps here that we can use. Again, these parts are quite loud, so you might want to clean this out, but these areas aren't really used. You can kind of see what is used within the UV editor, so it's just these areas here.